All right. Hey, folks, we're going to get into some artwork this morning. Let me fix my screens here. What's up, guys? How you doing? Oh, shoot, my my Photoshop isn't set up properly. Damn it. Hold on. Let's fix that real quick. We'll go to Photoshop, and I can drop the toolbar here real fast. And then we go to window capture, and then Photoshop. My screen's weird. Hold on. Let me fix my screen here real fast. There we go. And then this window capture here is brush like that. There we go. And we can make our Photoshop window a little bit wider. Create a little bit more space for ourselves. There we go. Okay, we're going to do some artwork this morning. Let's rearrange this so our background is forward. There we go. Everything's fine now. Everything's fine now. So great. This is the book cover. Crystals of Mabar, Eberron Adventure. Characters level 7 or 8. Fighting undead demons and necromancers in the Carnwood of Karnath on the continent of Corvair. We're doing interior artwork pictures right now. This is just a little corner vignette we're doing for a flooded passage that's coming through. The full page 16 by 9 format. Fits on your device, whether your phone, a tablet, on a wide screen. Each column is also 9 by 16, so you can look at it one column at a time, or the full document breadth at each page at a time. It's highly hyper navigatable, so like these are navigation buttons down here that lead you to different sections of the adventure. And like here it says, like, go to area 2, the siege tower. So if you click this, it'll jump you to page 2, or it'll jump you to area 2, siege tower within this fortress. And again, also the map of this region. Each one of these rooms is hyper navigatable, so you can click on this area here and it'll take you to this siege tower. I could click on this area here and it'll take me to the page that we were just on. Click here, it'll take you to this room. So the whole thing is anywhere there's a number or something that is on the legend here, it'll, if you click it on the tablet or on your phone or here on desktop, there's transparencies over each of these rooms that create a button. So when you press it in PDF, it'll take you to that page. And then like this map here is this button. So if I jump to page 3 to look at the teleportation circle, and then I want to jump back, I just press this back button here on this map, and it will pop up. Here's the map again. So I can bounce around inside the document from section to section, to different dungeon, the appendices. Since it's going to be a PDF product, build it for PDF. So the format is the page size is built for PDF, and then the functionality of being able to to navigate around inside of it intuitively by touch is also part of the document. Super fun formatting. Love doing this style. Love doing this style of book. So we're doing the little corner vignette piece right now, and when this thing is finished, we'll move on to the next. So this is there's a flooded passage here. You saw on the map beyond this door. It's basically backed up rainwater that's been accumulating forever. And so if you are able to open this door, it then all the water then floods the region and creates a huge distraction that the players may find a way to exploit. So let's continue the fucks and fix on this. Got a little bit more to do back here. Make this door the proper color. Now, these little corner pieces don't need to be crazy detailed, so I'm enjoying the process of building this one. This one's almost done. I just need to work on the water spray a little bit more, and we'll call this one done, and then we'll go to our list of remaining vignettes. We'll roll the random die and peel open that page and start working on that one next. So yeah, we'll have this one done here in just like maybe 15-20 minutes, I bet, and then we'll be able to move on to the next thing. But anyone that's checking the channel out, thanks a lot for being here. Like, subscribe, hit the bell icon for notifications when we're live in the future. Here's a bunch of books that I've already created on the DMsGuild. They're chock full of my art and ideas. If you like the art, go ahead and take a look. If you're a big D&D enthusiast and you find the ideas that are in those books worthy of your time, then I would humbly ask that if it adds value to your game, make a purchase. It'll encourage similar behavior in the future. And as long as I keep building books, I'll keep streaming the artwork for them. And I'm looking forward to many more years of me building stuff, whether it's D&D 5e content or my own thing or commissions or whatever ends up shaking out of this. I am open to it and anxious to see what life is going to lead me to. Let's trim this down. Straighten that up. I don't mind this being a little rough, because it is super aged out. Bop, there. Layers. Let's get rid of that little bit there. This doesn't quite align, so let's fix that real quick. Thank you. Just small little corrections to straighten things out. So add in the wall color. The ceiling color. And then we'll fix the waves. And then this piece will be done. grab, oh yeah, we have our map right here. We can just borrow from this. So let's grab this as our base wall color. Wave, water, crest. What is over there? Cresting water. Another crest. Another crest. Good. Background. Far distant. Closer. Here. It's just a little environment piece just to give a little bit of, like, literally perspective on where things are sitting. I feel like that's a little bit off. Let's go S-Force. Like that. Copy, paste, retransform. Flip horizontal. Merge down. Actually, don't. Let's take this. Chop that out. There we go. Now we can merge that down. Okay, something wonky. Hey, 20-minute timer. It looks like I'm on course. Let's figure out. There we go. Okay, merge down. Looks good. So what we're trying to do is recreate this. So we have a perspective issue going on over here. And this is a sharper perspective. So this actually needs to be flatter. So let's shift and skew this so it comes down like that. Yeah, that seems about right. Actually, I'm on the wrong screen. There we go. Like that. There, that'll do. Merge. This is more proper perspective. It's good enough. It'll get us through. There we go. And this is going to end up getting trimmed off. So it doesn't really matter. All this extra color here is just kind of... I kind of like how it's spilling over the map, honestly. That's kind of fun. But I'm going to trim it short so that it stays within its own borders. That's a fun idea. Okay, this shape over here is more complicated than this. Hold on. Let's honor the project. This is not the correct... That's not just a smooth wall. It has this this rickety step going on here. So we can grab this and cut that out into a separate layer, as we do. We can tighten up this perspective here. Let's free transform and skew. That feels better. And now what's our length? 5, 10, 15, 20 feet. So it actually goes to about, let's grab this black here. Here. About 20 feet feels like it's about here. That actually matches up the architecture. You see jig jags like that. So that's what we should do over here. That just makes our life easier. There, let's fill this in. Keep moving. I'll take this for the ceiling. Great. I'll make a natural transition point. That's good. I don't think I need that back in there. Let's get rid of that. Yeah, I like that. That feels good. Now let's take this color here and use it for some texturing. Let's trim that up a little bit. Let's make that a point of interest, actually. Let's grab our chisel. And we're going to thin it down. Put grit along the ceiling here and in all the joints. There we go. Do. Like that. I'm just kind of like talking at the screen today. I'm sorry about that, guys. I don't have any particularly strong topic of conversation to think about. maybe a topic you can brew up. See where the world takes us. I'm liking how this piece is feeling. The line weight's a little heavy along the roof here, but I'm going to trim that down a little bit. But I like this corner effect that we got going. It feels really natural. And that's good. And then here, trim up these corners a little bit. I feel like I want to drop the opacity on. Yeah, that feels good. That feels really good. I did not realize I was fusing those into the same layer. Well done, stupid. I've been juggling my layers a lot lately and kind of being sloppy about it. Everything seems to be working out okay, so it's not teaching me any good disciplines, but I'm just thankful that I haven't made any permanent regrets so far. I keep pushing that envelope, though. I have to pay attention, better attention than I have been paying on where my layers are going. I use a ton of layers, though, so that's kind of my own fault. I should be well, I like to keep them separated, but I should be compressing them down into less layers, so there's less shuffling around and searching for the layer I'm supposed to be working on. So if I'd reduce the amount of layers, I could pick up some subtle efficiency there. Let's go to... Where's this at? There you are. I'll trim away at that a little bit. There we go. So far, so good. It's looking pretty good. Let's just clean up back here a little bit more before we move along. We can grab my mountain razor for my smudge brush. Just push that around a little bit. Like here, for instance, I think this is a safe place that I can merge these two things together here. Merge those down. Just mess around with the edges. And I'm going to push up the strength of that smudge so I can do more damage. But right now I literally want to damage the lines here. I made them thick so that I could chop at them with this razor here. Let's add in an eraser as well. There we go. That's feeling right. Like that. This place is old and fatigued and worn, crusted, rusted. Like that feel. There we go. And then I want to layer over that. Let's whiten this. Let's do something like oops. Damn it, I'm on the wrong layer. Kidding me? Again. Here. This is where I want to be, on this layer here. Thank you. Little fissures and cracks showing that the place has been fatigued. Plus, it matches the pattern that we have inside the wall as well. So we have this consistency that we're creating, but I think it makes, hey, what's going on, Steve? I think it makes for an interesting, just like an interesting pattern on the wall. So I like how that looks a lot. Really happy with that. I feel like I want to break this up a little bit in here. Chop away at this a little bit. I'm kind of just muttering at the camera a lot today. Sorry about that, Steve. I don't have any particular driving topic. Here's a topic. I think I'm going to have time at lunch today for me to jump on stream for a little bit and start messing around with the Mystic subclasses. So we'll be converting, what is it, a monk, paladin, rogue, and sorcerer, I think, is what they have on deck for us. So I'm going to be converting those into the martial power system and into the color mana spell point variant rule system. I'll be starting that today. I'm going to work on that tomorrow morning as well. And with any luck, we're going to have sufficient people for us to play some Mage Tower tomorrow. So that'll be fun to kick into that a little bit more. But there we go. Yeah, this is starting to feel. So that's what we got going on today. I reckon that's probably going to be like, if it's 6:45 now, it'll probably be like around 1:45 Seattle time. So that'll be like 7 hours from now. I'll be on for about an hour or so. That should work out. We should be able to do that. And definitely tomorrow morning, around a little bit earlier, about the same time that I logged on today, like at 6:15. So some more color mana martial power stuff. Looking forward to it. I've only skimmed them, and it looks like there's some fun stuff there. So happy to see the casting monk variant. It was needed. Yeah, that's straighten this out a little bit here. I was on a real tear yesterday. I don't control the magic, but I love when the conversation flows. Feels good. Let's scuzz that up in here, straighten that out. There. Okay, cool. Sloppy. There we go. Like that. Here. What's going on? Hey, Defect. Just doing another corner vignette. Flooded passageway. If the team opens this door in this chamber, it's got tons and tons of water backed up behind it. So you pop open the door, it floods the chamber. If you open this door, it'll flood the barracks. Down the hallway is to the teleportation chamber, and there's fissures in the wall. So when you flood water through here, depending on how many doors are open, it's going to flood various rooms. It can be a great distraction if the team needs to create one, if they realize that's possible. But It's not something I spell out specifically for them. But yeah, we're adding this texture to the wall. This interior texture makes for fun cracks and fissures. So that's I'm going to use this color for fissures and stuff along the ceiling. How you doing today? Last night design was crazy. We had like 190 people that were in stream. It was a little outrageous. That's by far the largest population of looky-loos I've ever had. So I'm excited about that. I need to foreshorten this a little bit better. Bigger like that. This might not work. Yeah, I don't think that's working. I'm going to get rid of that. I'm going to instead just use some some grit on the ceiling instead. That's just not panning out the way that I want it to. Plus this is gonna, you know what? Honestly, I can probably take this whole assembly here and cheat on it a little bit here. Hold on, let's cheat. Let's be bloody cheaters. Transform up the size a bit. Oops, why aren't you tagging along? All those things. Let's increase this size so that we can have just a smidge of ceiling, but it'll then get trimmed. Flood here. Let's create our this. What's up? Do you see? Yeah, 190. That's crazy. Like 300 people over the course of a 2.5 hour block of time. I don't know what lightning that caught, but it was pretty cool. Have a few new subscribers now. Maybe some folks that get interested in the type of stuff that we're doing. We'll see. We'll see how it shakes out. It was cool. It was very promising. So whatever it is, YouTube is happy about me building an Eberron Spelljammer Mecha Kaiju bashing campaign for D&D. Somewhere in that milieu of in that mealy word, in all of that cacophony, something that YouTube likes something about that. All we can do is praise and love our overlord algorithms and pray that they sync us with others. It was pretty cool. A lot of folks there. So that's I don't know why, but maybe that means that the stuff that I'm creating are things that people might be interested in. So that's got promise. I'm happy about that. I am getting so close to done with this book. It's when we get, basically I've finished all the bookmarks in the book, so all the destinations are hyperlinked. I streamed last night, so I don't get a lot of stuff done on the night that I stream. But it's a mental health day, basically. Something else for me to work on other than this book allows me to sustain my sanity on completing this project. But so this weekend I'll be stringing up all the hyperlinks, like everywhere. It's like got, like, for example, up here, it's this door leads to the flooded passage in Part 2, Region B, Area 11. That's a destination. So I'll go in this weekend and take all these things and make them links. So if you click the bold text, it'll bounce you to that page where this area is at inside the adventure. So it all, again, high hyperlink navigation. And then once we get all those text hyperlinks done, the text portion is officially finished. And then I'll start importing images into Microsoft Word to align this image behind the actual text in the PDF. And once all of those are aligned, I'll start with the maps. So I'll do the maps first, and then I'll drop in I'll box in all of the rooms and put the invisible image in that box, and then that image I'll make a hyperlink. So when you click the image, which is invisible, which overlays like this room, I'll have a square. Hold on, let me grab my fucking tools. Here. So in Microsoft Word, I'll drop a hyperlink like this. I'll make a box like this over the map, and then I'll remove like no frame, and then I will fill that box with an image that is a transparent GIF. So it's 100% invisible image that I then kind of like overlay over this image here. So when you click this room, you'll actually be clicking the invisible hyperlink button that will then hop you to the destination inside of the PDF. I can also lead you outside of it, like to go find the stats for a commoner. For instance, if you click the commoner stats, it'll open up a window that'll take you to the Creative Commons monster listing for the commoner. So the things that are Creative Commons, I don't need to duplicate here, but I'm duplicating all like the specific monsters, like the scout, the thug, the commoner, the expert, all these like very simple classes that are for NPC classes that are like 1/4 CR or whatever, like don't really matter. I'm not building stat blocks for those in here specifically, just the unique, like the mercenary NPCs, the Emerald Claws, the Officer. Anyway, so once I get all the text hyperlinked, then we'll be starting with these large map areas and then dropping them in and making those hyperactive. So there you go. Bob's your uncle. That's what I'm working on off screen. But that's the last things that I need to do. That is what I am doing right now. And once that is done, all we have left is finishing these illustrations. And after I finish this one, we have 15 left. And so once I get the hyperlinking done off screen, I'll be able to dedicate more time in completing these pieces of art as well. So I'm thinking where we're at right now is the 16th of January. I'm thinking I'll probably have it published maybe like on the 12th or 13th of February. So it's super close. It's just a matter of like how many the 15 illustrations I have after this, like how fast are we going to get those done? That's essentially like within a week of that we'll be publishing. So it's collapsing. The time frames are collapsing. We're getting to the done point where it's actually going to happen, and I can feel the emotional fallout already. There will be postmortem sadness in me for basically it'll basically be a trauma dump of having been working on this project for literally for years, and for it to finally be over. So we're going to soothe ourselves by doing a little bit of Bob Ross art. So whatever time I have between finishing this and March, I think that's going to be time spent just doing Bob Ross paintings, just to cleanse my palette and to give my heart a hug. I'll do some Bob Ross painting. And I've been collecting a number of cool images that would be fun, I think, to paint. So we'll just fuck around with landscape painting for a while, like some Earthborn stuff. Hey, what's up? Well, hey, Gabby, it's good to see you. Yep, we're getting close to done. So I'm starting to walk myself through that emotional process. We're not quite there yet, so I don't want to get too far ahead of myself, but. We are getting close. As long as I get something done every day, we keep moving forward to completing the project. That feels pretty good. box this all up as background. It's not amazing, but it's pretty good. It's good enough. Spray, spray, spray. Let's play with spray. I'm going to grab the guitar pick. This is not amazing water. I recognize that. I gotta say, sea spray and water, rushing water like this is not my strongest suit. I'll be content. I'll be content with this. It'll be good enough, but it's not going to be amazing, and I'm okay with that. These vignettes don't need to be amazing. But we do need to make them work. Well, good. We're over here. A little sense of speed, I think, helps things. Yeah, down here. Thank you. Let's get that out of the way. Blend that in. A little pixelization is okay, I think, here because of, I think it kind of gives off a little sense of like motion blur. And that adds a little bit of kinetic energy to it, which the piece needs. So I think this is going to be okay. There we go. Do that. That'll work. Yeah, that'll work. Just, again, stippling is everything. Stippling and smudging, that's basically all I do in landscapes. It's pretty straightforward, very simple techniques. In Bob we trust. Okay, if I can keep this same feeling, this loose feeling here, the whole piece should end up better as a result of it. Like that. There we go. I'm just making basically like fabric folds is basically the idea there. This is an unnatural curve. I need to fix this. But this is underpinning the sea spray or the water crests that we have as it comes rushing out of the room. So I think this is lining up pretty well with the flow. I have to just fix some of this stuff. So it's sloppy, but I can see it now. I can see this one now. There we go. Yeah, those little asteroid communities, they're fun to do. I really enjoy, as a DM, the solo activity of world creation using the bastion mechanics is super fun. Because it's like the type of location or facility or guild or whatever, like the different facilities that it would have access to are pretty intuitive. And then, you know, you have to issue orders to use the facilities. You issue orders, and then those orders can fail and create complications, which just naturally starts creating this chain of cause and effect that just kind of they just create adventures. It's like, here's an adventure nugget, go tear into this shit. I feel like this is coming along nicely here. I really like these curls inside here. That feels really good. So we'll just smooth this out so it feels a little bit more natural, and then we'll reintroduce the sea spray or the cresting waves over this, and see how it sits. We have some good little edges along here that we can crest. Feels really, really good. But water's kind of like, rather, fabric is like water. So like if you have like a really thin linen that catches a breeze in the wind and like gets that ripple effect, that's identical to what water does. So when I'm making these waves, I'm thinking about how would fabric ripple if it was being pushed by a wave of air, and that's kind of the weight of gravity pulling the tide of the water forward. It's the same sort of feeling. So I'm not really thinking about, I'm not thinking of water right now. I'm thinking of like a wind element. Oops, that is not the brush I want to use. Thank you, Charlie. Thank you. Boo. Keep curling around here. There we go. That'll do. There we go. That feels good. Blah! Wrong layer, Kearney. Let's go to a round brush. It's predictable. There, that feels good. Now let's grab this one. That's a great. This actually feels pretty good. I'm just pulling it so it has this kinetic energy, these speed lines, basically, that I pull into it. That helps give it a little bit more momentum. Little streaks in on here that break away. I didn't have a lot of time last night after stream, so I just basically spent like maybe 45 minutes messing around with water and frame and structure on this, so it's a little bit further along than it was yesterday morning. But there we go. See, that feels good enough. It's not awesome, but it's not bad. I could actually increase. Why? What the fuck is going on? Oh, that's why. Life makes sense again. Thank you. There. You could actually increase that a little bit. There we go. That brings in the focus a little bit more, pulls the camera forward a little more. So that should help. Yeah, there we go. See, now that's going to look really, really good. Let's just get this brush over with here and then pull this wave in like this a little bit. Spray it up in front, and then we'll flick on some paint and smudge that, and then we'll move on to the next piece. This will be good enough. I don't have to mash on it forever if it's told its story. We got some depth here. Let's spray here. There we go. Like that, bring that in. Yeah. There we go. And I don't know, maybe like a little bit back here, a little bit more. There you go, rushing water. Pretty simple, nothing too complicated. There's your piece. Not amazing, but not bad. Not every piece is going to be killer, but I think this one. I think this gets the job done. I kind of like the idea of the floodwater spilling over into this area over here. I'm gonna fuck around with that for a second. See if I like it just for funsies. Timer. What time is it? So I've got 40 minutes left. Holy shit, we're doing great today, guys. I'm gonna do that. That actually looks pretty fun. I'm gonna leave that in place though. I like that. I like that. I like it breaking the frame like that. That's fun. We've done that. We've only done that one other place. That was in Ader Academy. Or the 12 plot hook. So we've done a little bit of frame breaking here and there, just very little bit, but it's not. This isn't the only piece. It is precedented elsewhere already. So I just think that looks fun. So let's go ahead and leave that be as it is. And what do we got? Oh, shit, we got another page to go. So here's a page. That'll be the last one in that section, but that's not necessarily what we're going to do. We also have this section here that needs a piece, and I was thinking about a little something here, but I don't know exactly what this little something is going to be. So I might actually just leave this blank as just some breathing room, but I'm not convinced yet. So let's pull open the list of things to do. Here's our left to-do list. We can now remove 54. And that leaves us with a list of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 things left. So I can roll 2 8-sided die minus 1 equals a range of 1 to 15. And we'll see which page comes up, and that'll be what we are fated to do, and we'll start fucking around and finding out what to do. So D8 is I rolled a 2 and a 2. That's 3. 1, 2, 3. So page 16 is where we're going to go. I have no idea what this page is. I want to give myself the out for the right to override if I want, but I'm going to see if we can just grab a random page and run with it. I'm going to hit save here with this one open right now. Page 16 is what we want. What is this page? What is being brought upon us now? Oh, okay. Village piece. We have a little corner bit over here. This is the bloodied scene where undead have attacked the community already. So there's two versions of the village. A clean version where everything is, there's people on the street and doing stuff and, commerce is happening. And then there's the undead aftermath, which is after a horde of undead comes from the forest and kills everybody. So this is when you want no survivors left to have a conversation with the characters, but to immediately give them a path that they can follow into the woods, where they can find the manifest zone and proceed. It's a very straightforward follow the bloody footsteps and you'll get to where you need to be. But there's little things that can be discovered in the buildings here, additional undead and stuff like that, as well as some treasure and a journal that provides you with a passive backstory of basically what's been going on in the community. So this optional encounter replaces the prepared encounter detailed at the beginning of this section. Instead of arriving at a village of concerned farmers, the characters find a town slaughtered by an undead horde from the Carnwood 3 nights ago. The map of Region A to the right indicates the locations of each building in the village square, which the characters can explore when they arrive. Each location detailed below provides details about each... I'm going to change that. That's some ugly wording. Is this the current page? We may have already fixed that. Let's crack it open, go to page 16, and find out. Glowing eyes would affect vision. I would assume it wouldn't get in the way of it. Like if your eyes glowing damages your ability to see things, then that's a bad genetic adaptation. So I doubt that's I can imagine that like the glow that you see, that's just a reflection, right? Unless they just unnaturally glow upon themselves. I don't know how that would play out. Each location, detailed below, provides clues about what happened at each location during the attack and information about any undead remaining in the area. While the characters explore the village square, sounds of battle attract more undead. Each round of combat, roll 1d6. If the result is equal to or less than the number of rounds spent in combat during the current encounter, roll initiative for when a new mob of undead arrive. Limit one additional mob per encounter. See optional encounter undead pack attack above for more details. No, it's below. That changed. Hold on. It should be above. Hold on. Where are you at? You should be in the village, there it is. Undead pack attack. Correct. It is above. Undead pack attack. This encounter can be used while the characters are in the village square or while investigating nearby homesteads. A mob of undead originating from the Carnwood spot the characters. They close distance to attack the characters and any other creatures nearby. Roll 1d6 on the table below, or choose which type of undead are present. A mob of 6 ghouls, and a mob of 8 bloated zombies. 2 mobs of 6 long dead, and 1 mob of bloated zombies. And then the descriptive text that goes with each of them. The undead appear within 60 feet of the characters from behind any structure or vegetation that provides at least 3/4 cover for the mob. Once combat begins, they fight until destroyed.
Any character that can use the search or study action can make an intelligence or wisdom investigation or survival check DC 14 to follow their tracks to the northwest into the Carnwood. So all paths just lead into the Carnwood one way or another. So easy tracking and minimal revision needed. Oh, hold on. Looks like everything is still in place and we've made the needed change. So we can just leave this be. Yeah, what are we going to film this little corner here? Okay, this is good. So that's the spot checking that I often do. I'm always going in and futzing with the text to make it better. But there is enough space here for us to do a little vignette. So we already had a small village piece coming into the area. Maybe... I don't know. Maybe we'll just do... Maybe we'll do this well that has a bunch of blood around it. This might be fun. Yeah. Okay, that's grabbing my attention. Let's see if that turns out being cool. So, bloody well. I don't know if this is a good idea or not. Let's just do it. It seems like it's better than nothing, right? As the wrong brush to use. There we go. Good. As out of proportion, but that's okay. It's a start. Very rough, but that's okay. And then we're just gonna roughen some texture here. We're just basically finding the balance of the piece. So a well off over like this a little bit, some stone. Then blood and more blood. There you go. Then we can have trees in the background here to create a frame. Blacksmith shop over here. Something like that. Let's bring this down a little bit. Maybe I want to have this tree line dip down here behind. Nah, because then that looks a little weird. Let's leave it above. yeah, that's a decent little piece. Obviously, that's not done, but that's the composition. I think that's a decent composition. So we can run with that. We'll drop this down to a low opacity, and yeah, let's start cleaning it up. Make it a thing. We'll start with the tree line and work our way forward. Smooth jazz clicking in. Love that smooth jazz. Those little synth touches are really nice for the piece overall. I really like the traditional feel of the guitar, the sleepy bass and drum. Super relaxed, but the little digital synth stuff working in there feels really good. Nope, not like that. And keep it thin. I kind of want to have this melt in. And then we can do separate foliage in the foreground here. Let me grab, I'll grab my vines brush. That seems like a fun thing to do. Let's grab. I should probably be using an actual color when I do this. So let's go find an actual color to do this with. I think that's probably the right color. Let's go with that. Like that. May as well complete. So I use one brush to add the foliage in, and now I'm using a different brush to remove foliage. So it breaks up the repetitiveness of the brush that added in the foliage. You see how I'm just kind of breaking it apart and destroying it a little bit here? Helps get rid of that monotony feel. I can come back in here and I can specifically add more in to create a pattern that I can then destroy with the eraser. And then I can smudge at the bottom of this when I'm done. But we'll be using a layer of positive and negative space in different colors to layer over this. But for some reason, Muse wanted me to do this first instead of the background. But it makes for some real easy shrubbery. See how I'm doing a layered, kind of like parallaxing the shrubbery, just layering it up in front of each other by erasing and then filling in the erased space with replicating pattern that then gets erased itself, so that the pattern exists but is not overwhelming as just a consistent pattern brush. So I can cheat by having a brush pattern that I'm using to create the foliage, but I'm defeating I'm disguising it with a different eraser. So the chaos of the print and the eraser don't align. So it creates a lot of noise, which is great for foliage. Foliage thrives on noise. There. See, not bad. And then I can line art. There's line art there. That's the rough. There's the rough to the front. This is eventually going to disappear anyway. So let's just bring that down a little bit more so it's a little less invasive. We got our tree lines here. We have our foliage here. Let's keep the foliage in front of the tree lines, but I do need to add another layer here, just some background, like background radiation noise in the proper color. So let's jump down here and grab this in a lighter color. And then using a different brush to keep the patterns chaotic. Uh-oh, I'm running out of time. I think I have 20 minutes left. Yeah, it's only 7:30, so we still have 20 minutes left. What pattern do I want to use? Let's use this kelp brush. That's too dark. I need something very... Oops. What the fuck? That was chaotic. No, that's too dark of a color. So let's go with something very, very faint. Yeah, that should be good. I'm mostly here just trying to color in this foliage here. And I'm going to blend it out a little bit. But I needed to just have a little bit of a background color to indicate the denser forest beyond. See, it makes for a really good background. Like it's really subtle, but it has a nice little gentle patterning to it. Makes it sit really nicely. So I'm going to grab the cloud smudge brush, and I'm going to basically pull that and smudge this in so it blends into the ground of the foreground. And then we'll dust on another color for the foreground itself. Just traipsing along here so it breaks up, again, breaking up the pattern so there's no consistent feel to anything. Nice and gentle. Blend that in so it becomes softer. And I don't want it encroaching too much into the foreground because we're gonna lay in like the dirt, the trodden dirt path around here, and then we'll add in the we'll add the well back in. But we'll do the background buildings first. Well, first we need to complete the trees, but we're stack. You can see how we're layering up and stacking stuff. So we'll put the ground, like the foreground. We'll layer that in between the well and this background, so we can continue developing this here. We have foliage here in the foreground. We have this tree line here. We can back down the intensity of that. Since we're here, we can start overlaying this with let's use the foliage scatter burst, because that's what we actually use to make these trees. So we're going to use the same patterning here. We're going to use this dark, and then we'll layer on lighter layer of leaves over it. It's basically filling the gaps that we created. The line art that we created here, we're just basically filling it in, and then just using the scatter brush underneath to have a lighter layer of foliage underneath. So when we add in the base color underneath this, it should help lighten the whole thing. It'll be interesting. It should be interesting. Hold tight. We'll get there. This only takes a few moments to do. Let's dot this all in here, and I'm prioritizing the ridge line, like the tree line here. That's since we're stippling there more intently. It has this denser pigment that we're laying down, but it gets looser the further away from the edge that we get, which is good because we're going to use a lighter color underneath this to imply scattered shapes of. I'm going to actually use the same brush that we're currently using here to break down the pattern a little bit underneath it to thin it. And I can actually leave the line art in place and just destroy and just stipple erase it a little bit to break up the pattern. But having the hard line of tree foliage, that actually helps define the space a little bit easier. So I want to keep that somewhat intact for now. We may change our mind about it and get rid of it later, but for now it's good. I'm going to increase the size of the brush just a smidge, just to break up the repetitiveness of the pattern. I'm going to fill in the space a little bit more here, and then we're going to use a faded eraser. Actually, we should find our base color underneath this. So we're going to go back to that tree line and fetch some more color to pull in here. We'll use this lighter color like this. Now we need a lighter color. It's too dark. Let's go with it's the right space. I'm just gonna ramp it up a little bit myself. Just nudge it. There we go. That should help. Yeah, that's better. So we can just basically smudge all this in here. And then thin it out as we drop down. Something like this. And then we can drop the opacity. I think I want to drop the opacity on this a little bit just to take the edge off. Then this layer here, I want to take, I'm going to duplicate it just to have the ability to go back if I need to. But I've used a low eraser, a 30% eraser. so we're only erasing 1/3 of the pixel information here. And I want to tap along the bottom here to get rid of that hard line transition and make it into a more gentle fade. Basically doing a layering effect. Break that down a little bit. And then the tree line, the hard line that we had before, I'm going to erase at that a little bit so we can break up the actual top shape there, and then break this down a little bit here as well. Here. Break down that shape a little bit, and then break down the trunks a little bit. So far, so good. So what? There we go. Break that down. It feels good. This feels pretty good. I think I can thin that down a little bit. Yeah. Down here. Break this up a little bit. Erase out some of this some. I don't know if this is the right way to do this or not. This is just where my gut's taking me right now. So this is what we're doing. I feel like I can drop in another layer of foliage in front of this darker tone here to create like a curling, bubbling effect. A dome effect. That's what I'm trying to find. Let's see if we can pull that off. I don't know, that looks kind of cool. God, that has like a really neat, like underlighting, almost an unnatural look to it. That's really cool. I think that's cool. So let's do that. Then maybe that works. And that'll work. Fade that out. By pulling on it, just smudge out the base of it so it doesn't have a hard transition line, so it just fades into that foliage. I'm kind of digging this. Let's back this off a little bit so it's a little lighter. Yeah, I think this will end up looking pretty nice. We're running short on time. Only have about 5 or 6 minutes left before I got to bounce for the day. So I actually feel like this is a pretty decent transition point just to hit the brakes here real quick. I'm gonna get rid of this initial line art here for this tree line. Drop that away, and then I'm going to grab this well here in the foreground. Cut that out and drop that in. And then we have this building over here. Then we have this building over here. Let's see. Take that up to 100. Merge down. Drop it back. About where it was. And let's see what we want to keep here and what we want to get rid of. You just basically pull on this and smudge it up a little bit. It's just a little extra noise from the. I like the line art. A lot of times I'll just keep the line art in the page and just mess around with it a little bit, just to create a little added little pinch of texture. I don't know if I need that for this piece. I'm just going to mess around with it and probably mostly erase it. So we're using a 30% eraser right now. So every time I tap, it destroys a third of the pixel information. And so after about like 4 or 5 taps, it pretty much erases it 100%. So I can use a little bit of a smudging technique just to break the density of the line and push it up so that it creates a sort of fuzziness, which is, I think, appropriate for the tree line with all the leaves up top. And then I erase it down so the darkness of the line doesn't overwhelm the foliage that we've already painted. There we go. Blends all together. It just adds like a little bit of haze to it, a little fluffiness, which I think this honestly just needs a little pinch up over here. I'm gonna erase most of this, push that up a little bit, and smudge that in. I don't need this. Get rid of that. There we go. Get rid of that. So once we put the foreground into place here, here, and here, see, the forest becomes really unobtrusive, which is what we want. I'm gonna add a little bit more of a little something back here. And with this tree line standing like this, I don't need to. I can just leave it standing like that. I don't need to trim this down or anything. Push it just a snitch down away from the tree line, from the text, and I can bring the buildings down a snitch. This is going to end up being a decent little piece. And again, I want to keep some of this line art in there. I'm just erasing it a lot so that it isn't in the way as much. But I still like it. I'm just disintegrating it to the point where it's just not. It's just some little blemishes here and there, and that's all I need it to be. There we go. That feels pretty good. All right. So when we come back, this is boy, it's Friday. Welcome to it. So when we come back on Monday, I might continue working on this piece. If I just need to take a mental break from the layout stuff and the hyperlinks and all the technical bits that I'm doing. But yeah, that being off center there, that feels pretty good. So we'll come back on Monday. Mondays, I actually have Monday off. So I'll be able to jump on in the morning and stream for however long I want, and then I'll probably take a break. I'll probably stop by no later than 10 o'clock, and then I'll be offline doing hyperlinks and stuff like that. I have a dentist appointment. When I have a dentist appointment or doctor stuff, I take the whole day off just basically to reward me for doing body maintenance. So I'll spend maybe a few hours or so on stream Monday morning, and then I'll break off and continue working on hyperlinks and building the book off screen. And then we'll be back on Monday night to continue building the Eberron asteroid settlements for the Eberron Spelljammer campaign that we're building. But we'll finish it. We'll have this. We'll get this piece finished on Monday, and then we'll move on to the next piece. We have 14 more pieces after this one, and if we can finish one piece a day between screen time and off-screen time, that means that we'll basically 5 days a week. We'll be done in 3 weeks, which will be the first week of February, and then I'll have some hang time for me. Once all the illustrations are done, then I'll start doing just Bob Ross landscape paintings just as a palette cleanser while I continue working on the hyperlinks and the back end of things. So, and I would expect this thing to be published probably, I'm going to say no later than February 15th. I think, and then we'll spend the rest of February just doing Bob Ross paintings in the morning while we prepare ourselves to start working on the next book. So that's it for now, guys. Thanks a lot for hanging out with me. I really appreciate y'all. I do this Monday through Friday in the morning, artwork like this. We do game design on Monday and Thursday nights and Saturday morning. And then late morning, Saturday afternoon, that's when we do play testing on my Discord server, all my books, a bunch of books that I publish on the DMsGuild. I'll link down below, along with my Discord channel, my Patreon, and like and subscribe. I've been doing this for years, and I'll keep doing it. This is what I do. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Thanks a lot. Oh, I may very well be back later on today at lunch to start working on the Mystic subclasses. But I don't know exactly what my day is going to look like. But if I have the time, I definitely want to jump on and play with that. So I'll see you guys on the other side. Cheers.